Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today in deck number 992, Gruul does Gruul things with Kogla and Yidaro. Now, when Kogla and Yidaro enter the battlefield, you get to pick one. No, you don't. It doesn't matter. I'm always going to choose Trample and Haste. Always. I got a 6-mana 7/7. That last ability don't even matter. It's going to be Trample and Hasty the turn I play it. You bet. So, that being said, I kind of leaned into that a little bit. Now, that is pretty specific. 2 generic, 2 red, 2 green. So we got to get there as quick as possible. And you know me, I don't want to wait around and, play my 6th land and do it. So we have a little bit of ramp. Also necessary because this guy's going to get dead a lot. He's going to draw every removal spell till you can keep him protected. And with all the ramp, you've got means to play him and play him again. Because he don't keep the trample and the haste. Well, keeping haste doesn't matter, but he doesn't keep the trample. Just the turn he comes in. So, killing it sometimes makes it better. So we're going to start off with our Soul Ring, Rampant Growth, Kodama's Reach, Arcane Signet, Thought Vessel, Talisman of Impulse, Cultivate, Finhorn Elf, Commander Sphere, Elvish Mystic, Decanter of Endless Water, Gilded Lotus, Nature's Lore. Yeah, we got all the whole span of ramp. Lands, creatures, spells, Fire Diamond, Magus of the Vineyard. Why not, right? Free mana for everybody. Little Llanowar Elves and Thran Dynamo. I know that's a bunch, but we want to get our boy out there when a 7/7 still matters. Because, there's a point late in games to where people have bigger stuff than 7/7s, and you're just like, oh, well, this is cool, but it's outclassed. So, a little bit of card draw. Harmonize and Howling Mine. I actually got to meet Mr. Mark Poole at Gen Con, and he autographed a few things for me. Y'all will be seeing those in upcoming videos. Rites of Flourishing, Double Meat, Double Cheese is always wonderful. And Return of the Wild Speaker. But now, if our win condition is go ham with Commander, we have to make Commander pretty good, right? I mean, he's already pretty good, 6 mana 7/7. And, yeah, he gets Trample a turn he comes into play. But we're going to focus on the turns thereafter. Assuming we can untap with it, which there's a good chance we will be. I mean, we got the boots with the fur, so he probably be around. So let's look at ways to make him better. Okay, now obviously Rancor, because that's permanent trample, and it's cheap enough. Sometimes you can play it the turn you play the commander. We have Unnatural Growth, just double his power and toughness. Doesn't grab a trample, but it's whatever. Loxodon Warhammer does. A lot of times you can just throw Brawn out there and just start attacking. Sometimes you can make a deal with somebody at the table to, hey, if I attack you with this 3/3, will you block it with your 5/5 and kill it? If you do, I'll blah, 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 whatever. So, Vivian Reed, I actually got Vivian Reed's ultimate off once. Yeah, +2/+2 Vigilance, Trample, and Indestructible is emblem is a hard thing to get around. We have a Black Blade Reforge. I figure with all that land, we might as well be, strapping our commander up. Yeah, speaking of strapping the commander up, I just got Colossus Hammer in there and gonna hard equip it for the 8 mana. No cheats, just gonna do it. Now, Trailblazers Trailblazers Boots is just almost says unblockable. I mean, non-basic land block. I didn't run Whisper Silk Cloak because I have so much stuff that targets my commander. I didn't want to, shut any of that off. But non-basic land walk is pretty much in Commander. Even monocolor decks have non-basic lands. I have some silly things. Yeah, I've got silly things like Helm of the Host, because why not? Because Helm of the Host happens at the beginning of combat, and our next section is going to be combat related. Vitalizing Wind. We do have some other creatures in the deck. Not many, but I don't know. I like using these old fun cards that is, yes, it just gets them +7. It's no abilities or anything, but it's one of those things that nobody sees coming because nobody plays with the card. Kind of like Monsoon. I had a chance. I had a slot in a deck, and I was like, you know what? People need to respect the Monsoon. Any island is untapped at the end of its controller's turn, they take a damage. So, if you're planning on saving mana for reactions, you're going to burn for it. And, of course, then, just Colossification, because, +20 is one of my favorite lines in the game. And, the fun fact, we're going to jump around here. Fun fact, if you've got the Colossification or, like, the Colossus Hammer, your blast act doesn't even kill it. So you can blast act it. It's like one-sided board wipe because you still got your big dude. It's funny. It's funny. So I told you we'd get to combat, right? We've got the Berserker's Onslaught. Our attacking creatures have double strike. Sweet. We have Gratuitous Violence. If a creature would deal damage, it deals double that damage. Nice. City on Fire. Triple damage. Okay. What about the Warstorm Surge? Let's do some damage when they enter. And then sometimes it's just called for a Savage Beating. And you're always going to entwine it. In my mind, when I built the deck, this card costs 7 mana. It just does. But the one that we're all here for is Aggravated Assault. 5 mana to get another combat and another main, which brings us to one of our other creatures that when Savage Ventmaw attacks, you get 6. So if you can keep them 2 living, you just have infinite combat steps. And once you go to combat, Helm of the Host triggers, and then all this other, it's wild. The reason why you want Helm of the Host triggering is because, in-race Forerunners, you can just keep getting it's fun. Apex Devastator, buy 1, get 4 free is a pretty good rate, even at 10 mana. So, yeah. Tornado Elemental is a card that I have played forever. I love this card. We don't really fly. We don't have any. This is how we deal with flyers. And, just straight killing them. But, yeah. Helm of the Host on Tornado Elemental's not bad either. Every fairy player out there shuddering right now. I know you are. Italy, because why have friends? Comedian Colossus is good. Pro Black, all creature types, and it's not as good as the Hero's Bane, but it does cost less. It's just a one-shot deal, but we have tons of mana, so it's not like that big a deal. And then the largest hard creature they've ever printed, the 1616 Convoke Indestructible. Now, it feels really good to have this on the board. Once you can put this on the board, that's a monster of a feeling. Because, there again, it lives through your blast act 2 different ways. But, we got 3 more here before we get into removal and non-basics. Vitalize. Vitalize is a heck of a magic card. It's that instant speed, untap all your dudes. It leads a player. How I use it more times than not is you swing out and then you don't have blockers and somebody thinks you're vulnerable, but guess what? I'm not. Stormseeker. This is the deck of, I have about 4 or 5 cards in here of old cards that we don't really play that much, but it's a teaching moment, right? to give lessons on how these cards are awesome. Stormseeker dealing 1 damage to target player for each card in their hand at instant speed in green. That's green direct damage. You know, in every game, there's that one player who has just a thick handful of cards, or somebody that's wanting to be that player. So, yeah, sometimes this is 4 mana instant speed kill a player. You want 6 mana to get your tires cut? So, no. Wake of Destruction. Destroy target land and all lands with the same name. So your monocolor player could have a bad day if that's what you decide. Yeah, it's a monster. People use it with the Dingus Egg all the time. I use it here as a retaliation measure. Hey, you remember that one time you killed my commander? Well, so let's look at our removal. So we have Naturalize. I know it's been a while since you've seen Naturalize, huh? It's an only return to nature. Abrade. We're in Gruul, so we might as well decimate things, right? Such a good card. You got to have all 4 targets, but and generally a lot of people have. How I see most players around here play Decimate is, well, there's one thing I need to get off the board, and the other 3 are just casualties. So they'll spread it out as to hopefully not make enemies, but it doesn't work. You typically make more than 1 enemy, so I normally wait and I will cripple the person casting, or that I cast it on, because 1 for 4 is an awesome ROI. Of course, we have a Beast with the End, Chaos Warp, Chain Reaction, Lightning Bolt. Sometimes you just got a bolt. Sometimes you got to have a Lightning Bolt. Back to Nature. I know we have a few enchantments in there, but there is a rise in hardcore enchantment decks, especially with like auras now, and so I'm starting to pack Back to Nature. And then the best removal spell, Comet Storm, because sometimes, hey, the best removal is player removal, and sometimes Comet Storm is just that. So we're going to go through our non-basic lands now. We have Sheltered Thicket. Now, I try to use as many of the land-type duels as possible. So many decks I don't have a lot, but like the Sheltered Thicket and the Wooded Ridgeline, your Nature's Lore can go find those because they're forest, that's the reason why. But Evolving Wilds, Gruul Turf, Temple of Abandon, Game Trail, Gruul Guildgate, Temple of the False God, Command Tower, Raging Ravine, Carplusan Forest, Exotic Orchard, Myriad Landscape, and Terramorphic Expanse. And that is what we have got for today. I do appreciate y'all watching. Thank you so much. Couldn't do this without y'all. Thank you. But right now, we are going to shuffle and cut.